Hey there, and welcome to Tales by June, where hearts break, heal, and sometimes seek revenge. Let's begin today's story.
My name is Kate. I'm 32, married, and I work as a marketing executive at a mid-sized company in Chicago. From the outside, my life might look stable, normal even. I live in a tidy suburban house with my husband Jack, who's been in finance since we met. We've been married for 4 years. 4 long, confusing, sometimes beautiful, sometimes suffocating years. I wake up most mornings before Jack. I like the silence, the calm. I like making coffee, pouring it slowly into my favorite chipped mug, and standing by the window to watch the world wake up. Those moments are mine alone, free of judgment, free of comparison, free of pretending. Jack usually stirs around 7:30. We barely talk in the mornings anymore. He's either too busy scrolling on his phone or too lost in thought. When I ask him questions, he nods or gives me vague answers. The distance between us used to scare me. Now it just numbs me. Marriage wasn't always like this. There was a time I used to reach for his hand in the middle of the night and find warmth. Now, more often than not, I reach out and find empty sheets. We don't fight. That's the strange part. We've just become polite. Like colleagues who once liked each other but have long since run out of things to say. My days are filled with work, emails, and endless meetings. I do well, and my boss often praises me, but I've stopped telling my family about my wins. My parents have never really noticed me. Not when Amanda, my younger sister, exists. Amanda, the golden girl, the one who lights up every room she enters. She's stunning, charming, and has always known exactly what to say to make people love her. Why can't you be more like Amanda? I've heard that sentence since I was 8 years old. It followed me through school, college, and even into marriage. Mom still says it casually, like a joke, but the sting never really goes away. Jack adored Amanda too. At first, I thought it was innocent. He was just impressed by her energy, her confidence. But lately, I've caught something else in his eyes when he looks at her. A flicker I can't quite explain. Or maybe I just don't want to. The truth is, I've spent most of my life trying to be enough. Enough for my parents. Enough for my sister. Enough for my husband. And most days, I can almost pretend I am. But pretending is exhausting. And lately, something deep inside me has started to shift. A whisper in the back of my mind, telling me that something is off. Something I can't ignore much longer. I don't know it yet, but everything I believe about love, loyalty, and family is about to shatter. And I will be the one holding the pieces. Sometimes when I lie awake at night, listening to Jack's slow, even breathing beside me, my mind drifts to childhood. It's strange how memories you think you've buried come back in the quiet. They don't knock. They just walk in. I remember a birthday party. I was turning 10. I'd begged Mom for weeks to have a fairy-themed party in the backyard. I'd even helped her paint cardboard wings and decorate tiny jars with glitter to give as party favors. I was so proud. I wore a white dress with a pink sash and couldn't stop smiling as my friends arrived. But then Amanda came out. She was 7, wearing a store-bought princess dress Mom had picked out, puffed sleeves, rhinestones, and a tiara that sparkled like real diamonds. Everyone gasped when they saw her. Even the birthday girl's spotlight wasn't strong enough to compete. "Oh, Amanda looks like a real princess," someone said. And just like that, the attention shifted. She twirled and giggled, basking in it, while I stood by the cake, waiting. When it was finally time to sing, my mom laughed and said, "Amanda, you should blow out the candles with your sister." I tried to protest, but my voice was small. She blew them out. Not me. That was the first time I realized birthdays weren't always yours. At least not in my family. Then there was the school talent show. I was in 6th grade, Amanda in 3rd. I had worked for weeks learning a piano piece. I was nervous but excited to show my parents. After I finished, I looked toward the audience, seeking their faces. My dad wasn't even clapping. He was too busy fixing Amanda's hair and whispering something to her. Later that night, Mom told me Amanda had gotten nervous and cried because she wasn't performing. "You should have given her your slot, Katie," she said. "You're the big sister. She's more sensitive than you." I remember blinking at her, confused. I had done well. The music teacher had even complimented me. But none of that mattered. Amanda's tears won every time. It didn't stop there. College decisions, job interviews, even the time I got promoted. My mom found a way to tie every milestone of mine back to Amanda. "She's so proud of you," they'd say, as if Amanda's approval was the prize I should really be after. All those years of standing in her shadow made me learn how to shrink myself, how to smile through disappointment, how to clap for her even when my heart was breaking. So, when I saw how Jack's eyes lingered on her last Thanksgiving, when he laughed at her jokes a little too loudly, when he leaned just a little too close, it didn't surprise me. It only terrified me. Because I knew exactly how this story ends. She always gets what she wants. It was a rainy Saturday when Jack and I were invited to dinner at my parents' house. Nothing unusual. Mom insisted it had been too long since the whole family sat together, she'd said. I stood in front of the mirror, adjusting my navy blue dress, watching Jack scroll on his phone behind me. He looked good. He always did in that quiet, clean-cut way. But there was something distant in his posture, like he was present only in body. "Ready?" I asked. "Yeah," he said without looking up. "Just replying to an email from work." I smiled, but it didn't reach my eyes. That whisper in the back of my mind was louder now. We drove through light rain, the windshield wipers tapping out a steady rhythm. Jack barely spoke, and I didn't push. I was too busy drowning in my thoughts. Dinner was the usual chaos. My mother fluttered between the kitchen and the dining table. My father asked about Amanda's new fitness blog, practically glowing with pride. "She's almost at 50,000 followers," he said, like she'd cured cancer. Amanda walked in late, wearing a beige trench coat over a silk dress, her hair effortlessly curled. She greeted everyone with kisses and air hugs, then took the seat next to Jack. Not beside me. "You look tired, Kate," Amanda said with a sweet, concerned voice. "Everything okay?" "Just work," I replied, forcing a smile. She leaned into Jack. "Maybe you two should take a weekend off. Right, Jack?" Jack chuckled softly. "That's not a bad idea." I watched them laugh at something I wasn't part of, and suddenly the room felt colder. Later, when I was helping Mom clear the dishes, I glanced through the kitchen doorway. Amanda had her hand on Jack's arm. He didn't pull away. Something twisted inside me. That night, after Jack fell asleep, I lay in bed wide awake, staring at the ceiling. My heart was racing, my mind screaming things I didn't want to believe. I turned toward him. His phone was on the nightstand charging. I'd never done it before. Not once in our 4 years. But something in me snapped. I reached for his phone, carefully unlocking it with his fingerprint while he slept. My hands trembled. I checked his texts, nothing. Just mundane conversations. Then I opened his email, and there it was. A chain of messages under the subject line, last Tuesday. My heart pounded as I read. "I still can't stop thinking about you. Last time felt dangerous, but I want more. I know it's wrong, but I've never felt so alive. You drive me crazy. Every time I see you, I can't think straight. We'll figure this out, just not yet." I couldn't breathe. The room spun. My hands went cold. The man sleeping beside me and my own sister. Tears gathered in my eyes, but none fell. I just sat there, holding the phone, feeling everything and nothing at once. It wasn't just betrayal. It was confirmation. I was never enough. Not for them. Not even for him. But something inside me didn't shatter this time. It started to burn. I couldn't sleep that night. I sat on the cold bathroom floor, my knees pulled to my chest, staring at the tiles. My mind was a storm. The betrayal cut deep, but what made it worse was that it wasn't just Jack. It was Amanda. My sister, my blood. I didn't cry. Not that night. Something inside me had dried up. Numbness had taken the place of grief. By morning, I knew what I had to do. I wasn't going to confront them yet. No screaming, no begging, no breakdowns. I was going to expose them, publicly, perfectly. And I'd do it on my birthday. For once in my life, my birthday was going to be about me. I called Mia first, my closest friend from college. She picked up on the second ring. "Kate," she said, groggy. "It's early. What's going on? I need to talk in person." An hour later, I sat across from her in a quiet cafe, my hands wrapped tightly around a mug of untouched coffee. I told her everything, from the emails to the way Amanda touched Jack's arm at dinner. I even showed her the messages I'd screenshotted from Jack's email. Mia didn't say a word until I finished. Then she leaned back, eyes wide with disgust. "I always had a weird feeling about Amanda. But Jack, I thought he loved you." I laughed bitterly. So did I. Mia reached across the table, taking my hand. Whatever you need, I'm in. Together, we started digging. Mia's brother Tyler was a tech whiz. With his help, we recovered deleted emails and messages from Jack's cloud backups. Every thread, every appointment, every hotel reservation. I couldn't breathe reading some of them. She wore that red dress again? The one you like? I took her to that French place in River North. Don't worry, Kate thinks I'm on a business dinner. That French place. Jack and I had been planning to go there for months. He kept postponing. Then came the receipts. Literally. Jack had used our joint credit card to buy gifts. A $1,200 necklace from a luxury boutique. Spa treatments. A weekend at a beach resort. But the final blow came when Mia said, "Didn't you say your grandmother's gold bangles went missing last month?" I froze. Yeah. I thought I misplaced them. Mia turned her phone around and showed me a photo she'd pulled from Amanda's Instagram story from 2 weeks ago. Amanda, posing in front of a mirror, wearing my grandmother's bangles. The ones I cried over, thinking I lost them. I stared at the image, my chest tightening. He gave her my memories, my legacy, my world cracked open all over again. We spent the next week collecting everything. Screenshots, receipts, photos, email trails. Tyler helped us compile them into a neat timestamped digital file, backed up in the cloud and on 3 separate drives. But the worst part wasn't the evidence. It was the silence in my house. Jack moved through it like nothing had changed. Still kissed my forehead in the mornings, still told me he'd be home late for work. Still touched my back lightly when passing by, like we were some normal, loving couple. Every time he smiled at me, I wanted to scream. But I smiled back. The mask stayed on. Until my birthday. 2 nights before the party, I sat with Mia in her apartment, staring at the folder of evidence one last time. "I'm going to show it all at the party," I whispered. "In front of everyone. My parents, friends, Amanda, him." Mia nodded slowly. "You're sure?" "I need them to see it," I said. My voice was shaking now. "I need my parents to see, to understand what she is. And if they don't," Mia asked gently. I looked at her, eyes burning. "Then I'm done," I said, voice breaking. "I've spent my whole life trying to win their love, letting them compare me to her, diminish me. If they still choose her after this, after what she's done, then I'll walk away. Forever. I won't beg them to see me anymore." Mia was quiet for a moment, then she wrapped her arms around me. "You deserve better than any of them," she whispered. "And if they can't see your worth after this, they never will." I nodded into her shoulder, letting the first tears fall. "I just want the truth to matter," I said. "For once, I want to be seen." Back home, I walked into our bedroom and looked at Jack sleeping peacefully. The man I loved. The man who betrayed me with my own sister. With my money. With my memories. I stared at him for a long time. Then I whispered, "Enjoy the party, Jack. It'll be unforgettable." The sky was dusky gold when the guests began to arrive. My house, our house, looked warm and welcoming, decorated with soft fairy lights, fresh flowers, and a catered buffet set along the back patio. People laughed, clinked glasses, complimented the decor. It looked like a celebration of love, of life. No one suspected a thing. I wore a wine-red silk gown. Simple, elegant. It hugged my body just right. My hair was pinned up, revealing the necklace Jack had given me on our 2nd anniversary, back when I believed he meant forever. Jack greeted everyone at the door with his usual charisma. Amanda floated in 20 minutes late, draped in champagne satin and fake innocence. She kissed me on the cheek, her perfume too sweet, too familiar. "Happy birthday, big sis," she smiled, handing me a small velvet box. I took it, smiled back. "Thanks, Mandy. You've already given me so much." She blinked, confused but flattered. Jack shot me a side glance. I caught the flicker of unease in his eyes. The party flowed around us. Music played softly. People laughed, drank, danced. My parents stood near the fireplace, beaming proudly, like they'd produced the world's most perfect daughters. I held my glass, breathing in deep. My palms were damp, my chest tight. This was it. An hour in, the music faded. I tapped my glass. "Everyone," I called out, smiling. "Can I have your attention for a moment?" The crowd turned toward me, falling into a hush. "I just want to thank you all for being here tonight. Birthdays are special, but this one is particularly close to my heart." I paused, my voice steady, eyes sweeping the room. "I want to thank my husband, Jack, and my dear sister, Amanda." Amanda's smile widened. Jack raised his glass. My parents beamed. You've both given me so much, I said slowly. More than you'll ever know. And tonight, I want to give something back. Especially to you, Amanda. I walked across the room, heels tapping softly against the hardwood. Amanda laughed. What are you up to now, Kate? I stopped right in front of her, close enough to smell the citrus in her perfume, her head tilted, still smiling. I raised my hand and slapped her. Hard, across the face. The sound cracked through the room like a gunshot. Gasps erupted. Amanda stumbled back, hand to her cheek, stunned. Jack rushed forward. Kate, what the hell? Don't you move, I snapped, spinning toward him. You don't get to act shocked. My parents ran over, already flustered. Kate, what's wrong with you? My mother hissed. Have you lost your mind? Enough, I shouted. The room stilled. My voice, sharp, clear, tore through the silence. You all want to know why I did that? You want to know what kind of gift Amanda's been giving me? I turned toward the screen we'd set up earlier, the one Jack thought was for a birthday slideshow. Tyler, I called. Mia's brother stepped out from the shadows, laptop in hand. He nodded once. Clicked. Clicked. The projector flared to life. And there it was. The emails, the messages, the photos. Image after image, Amanda slipping into a hotel. Jack's name on the reservation, her wearing my grandmother's bangles in a mirror selfie. Receipts paid from our joint account. Conversations that dripped with lust and deceit. Amanda's face drained of color. Jack stood frozen. My parents stared in stunned disbelief. I turned to face them all. My husband and my sister have been sleeping together behind my back for almost a year, I said, voice shaking now. And not only that, Jack used my money. He used my family's jewelry. He took pieces of me and handed them to her like I was nothing. No, my mother whispered, stepping back. Amanda looked like she might faint. Kate, I didn't mean... Don't, I snapped, eyes blazing. Don't even try. I saw the messages. You meant every word. Jack finally spoke. His voice cracked. Kate, I'm so sorry. I messed up. I turned to him with ice in my voice. You didn't mess up, Jack. You destroyed our marriage. And for what? Cheap hotel rooms and lies? Was I that invisible to you? He covered his face with both hands. I regret it. Every single day. Too late. From the back of the room, Jack's parents stepped forward. His mother looked furious, his father shameful. We had no idea, she said. Kate, I'm so sorry. Jack, how could you do this? Jack dropped his head, silent, broken. And then the final touch. Police sirens wailed outside. Amanda gasped as two uniformed officers stepped in, scanning the crowd. Miss Amanda Bennett? One asked. Amanda shrank back. What? What is this? You're under arrest for possession of stolen property, the officer said, showing her a warrant. The jewelry has been identified and reported missing by the legal owner. No, it wasn't stolen. I didn't know, Amanda stammered as the officers approached. My mother lunged forward. Stop! This is family business. You can't arrest her. I stood still, shaking. You wanted to protect her? I said to my parents. Even now? She's your sister, Kate, my father said firmly, stepping forward. She made a mistake. You don't destroy family over one mistake. I stared at him like I didn't recognize his face. One mistake? I whispered. She slept with my husband, lied to me, stole from me, let me cry in her arms while pretending to be innocent. And you, both of you still defend her. My mother looked helpless. But she's our baby. I laughed bitterly, the sound sharp and hollow. There it is, I said. The truth. It was always Amanda. Her wins, her tears, her needs. And me? I was just a shadow, the older sister who was never enough. Tears welled up in my eyes, but I didn't let them fall. You want to protect her? I said, my voice cracking. Then go ahead. You can have her. What do you mean? My mother asked, panicked. I'm done, I said. You're dead to me. All of you. From today, I have no sister, no parents. Kate, my father stepped forward. I stepped back. I begged for your love my entire life, and you only ever saw Amanda. You compared me, belittled me, ignored me. That now I see clearly. Jack tried to come closer. Kate, please. I turned to him with cold finality. I want a divorce, and I want you out of my house by morning. Amanda was crying as the officers read her rights. Her mascara smeared, lips trembling. My mother was sobbing. My father stood still, like he'd aged 20 years in a minute. I turned toward the guests, dozens of them frozen, stunned. Enjoy the rest of the evening, I said. Happy birthday to me. And I walked away, head held high, past the lies, the betrayal, the pain. Free. The day after the party, the house was too quiet. The lights had been taken down, the food trays packed away. Only silence remained. Jack didn't leave that morning like I'd asked. He stood in the living room, still in the same wrinkled clothes from the night before, eyes red-rimmed and hollow. When I stepped into the room, he fell to his knees. "Kate, please," he said, voice shaking. "I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I love you. I made a horrible mistake. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't myself." I looked down at him. This man I once thought would protect my heart. "You were exactly yourself, Jack," I said coldly. "That's the problem." He crawled forward, grabbing my hands, pressing his forehead to them. "Give me another chance," he whispered. "I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you. I swear." I pulled my hands away, slow and deliberate. "You had 4 years," I said. "You don't get another minute." He looked up, desperate. "I lost everything the moment I lost you. You lost me the moment you touched my sister." And then I said the last words I ever would to him. "Get out." His shoulders slumped, defeated, destroyed. He left without another word. I locked the door behind him. The calls started 2 days later. Unknown number. Then again, and again. Then a knock at the door. I opened it to see my parents. Mom's eyes swollen, Dad's mouth set in a hard line. For once, Amanda wasn't with them. "Kate," my mother said softly, "please, let us talk." I stared at them. "I'm not your daughter anymore," I said. My mother flinched. "Don't say that. We made mistakes." "No," I cut in. "You made choices, and now I'm making mine." My father stepped forward. "Katie, don't do this. We're family." I stared him down. "Don't call me Katie. That name doesn't belong to you anymore." He looked stunned. "Go home, Robert," I said bitterly. "Take Linda with you." My mother gasped like she'd been slapped. "Kate," she whispered. "How can you?" I didn't answer. I closed the door and locked it. The divorce proceedings were swift, clean, unforgiving. My lawyer was brutal, and I gave him everything. Jack didn't contest. He just sat there, silent, destroyed, never once lifting his eyes to meet mine. The court granted me everything. The house, the accounts, even a restraining order. Amanda, now with a criminal record, moved out of state after her brief stint in jail. She avoided the press, avoided public life. Her fitness blog died overnight. The influencer gigs dried up. She faded. My parents sent letters, emails, birthday cards, all returned unopened. I packed my life and moved to Portland. A fresh city, a new beginning. I bought a small condo near the river, took up a new job in a boutique agency, one that appreciated my skills. I painted my bedroom pale blue. I read again. I went to farmers markets. I walked alone without feeling lonely. And slowly, I learned to smile from somewhere real. 3 years later, I met Mia for brunch at a little cafe with ivy creeping up the brick walls. The sun was warm. The table was filled with fresh croissants and tiny glasses of orange juice. "You look peaceful," Mia said, sipping her latte. "I feel it," I said. "For the first time in my life." Mia smiled. "You want the updates?" I laughed. "Go ahead." Jack moved back with his parents for a while. Couldn't hold down a job. Word got around about the affair. No company wanted the drama. Last I heard, he was working at a rental car desk in Florida. Drinks too much, alone. I nodded slowly. "And Amanda?" "She moved back in with your parents," Mia said, stirring her coffee. "She's been through 3 jobs, can't keep one. Keeps trying to rebuild her online brand, but no one's interested anymore. The internet doesn't forget, especially not that arrest video." I raised my brow. "And Linda and Robert?" Mia smirked. "Still trying to contact you, still asking if I'll pass messages along. They've aged. Regret written all over their faces." I said nothing for a moment, just stared at the flowers blooming on the windowsill. "Do you want to see them?" Mia asked gently. I thought about it. "No," I said. I gave them all the chances they were ever going to get. That night, I walked home along the river, wrapped in a scarf, my breath visible in the winter air. My life wasn't flashy. It wasn't perfect. But it was mine. I passed a couple walking hand in hand, laughing about something silly. I didn't H. I didn't envy them. I was content. Some nights I still dreamed of the betrayal. But I woke with strength now, not sadness. I had survived a fire that could have burned me down. Instead, it forged me. I arrived home and stepped into the warm, quiet space that I'd built myself. Books lined the shelves. My art hung on the walls. And in the corner, on a small wooden stand, was a framed photo of me, alone, smiling, standing at the edge of the ocean. I poured a glass of wine, sank into my chair, and watched the city lights shimmer across the river. I wasn't someone's wife. I wasn't someone's second best daughter. I wasn't invisible anymore. I was Kate. Whole. Free. And finally, happy. The end.